Are you sure you're not just following a trend because it's cool and foreign?
And Back to the Future 2 and 3. Get it while there's still time.
Bart! Go to bed!
Sure thing, Dad!
It's Bart.
Holy cow, what's up, you degenerates? We are here to take women down a peg or two.
That's right.
That's the purpose of this podcast.
Darn straight.
Speaking of women,
she's here.
all right, defend yourself, Silver.
I am a cat kaiju. I am above the rest of them.
Physically.
Physically, yes. But that gives me a pass. That's my argument.
Does it make you feel good or hurt your self-esteem that people scream when you enter a room?
Ah, feels great.
Feels great. That's the reaction you wanted?
Yes.
Before we got on, I was saying I don't understand Billie Eilish, and not in the old man sense, in the I don't like anything she does, and I don't understand people's obsession with her, and I find her to be attractive at best. But, you know, that's just me. Well, it's just like Zendaya. It's just like I don't understand her either. Like, people's obsession with her and turning her into some huge... There's got to be a factor involved that's not just she's attractive, but also the celebrity that somehow elevates them into positions that normally, you know, someone like her would not be elevated to.
You know, it may be one of those things like, you know, Donald Trump is not that attractive of a man, but his wives have all been like supermodels.
Well,
yeah, he's rich. I don't know. Also, we're
Yeah.
old. That's why we don't care about like 19, 20, 23. We're old.
Well, first of all, men and women defined attractiveness differently. If a woman's a millionaire, she's not going to pull the hottest guys in the world. If it's a man as a millionaire, nearly all women are going to be like, you know, he's kind of hot. Because men and women define what they seek out of a partner far different. And that makes men vain and women petty because they want money and power.
What I was going for is on the women being attracted to men who have money and power and status. This might be that kind of thing for them, where fame it kind of equates to the money, power, and status for men. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but men don't really care about your fame. I think fame makes them seem more attractive because more men are interested.
That's what I'm saying. Obviously, men don't care if they're, you know, whatever. But they when men are looking at the equation that's like, if a woman is this, and this, that means they're hot. You know, that's one of those added variables in the equation, if you will.
Yeah, well, it's like when women are like, they're not interested in a guy if they're not being pursued by a bunch of other women, because then it feels like they're getting something other women can't have. There might be an element to that with men where it's like, well, all
Yeah,
the men like her, so I'm going to get her, and that makes her hotter because everybody wants her.
right. Something it feels something like that. For like a woman looking at a man, she looks at him and says, "Okay, height is a thing, physical attractiveness is a thing. We've got money, job stability. That's an added thing. Um, Power, respect. That's an added thing on top of it. And then for men looking at women, they're looking at their physical beauty and things like that. And I don't know that men really put a lot of stock into um, fame as far as that goes, but
They
it
don't.
may, like, if we have two women that are equal in all respects except one of them is famous, they may get a little bump.
Yeah, men by and large don't care. Men will, if you're hot, men will date you if you work at McDonald's. They don't care.
Yeah.
And in
And
fact,
McDonald's, here I come.
yeah. In fact, if you're famous or a celebrity or you have lots of money, you're probably more of a problem. Like the McDonald's person's probably more attractive because they're going to be less of a. They'll feel like they need you. Human relations are really stupid. Disney lied to me.
Although,
Well,
pivoting back a little, when you were saying, like, "Oh, you just hate Billie Eilish," I can't agree more. I don't know why I hate her so much.
Are you just being girl jelly? Is that the thing?
Might be, but then I started thinking about, I was like, I can list a bunch of women right now that I probably hate for no reason. Like, Zendaya, yes. Billie Eilish, yes. Taylor Swift, yes.
Yeah.
a very female
Also,
of you.
Sabrina Carpenter, yes. Jenna
Oh,
Ortega, yes.
there you go.
I don't know why, but something about it just like, ugh.
Let the hate flow through
I-
you.
It's got to be the female hate. I don't know how to explain it.
Is it
Absolutely.
like the is it is it like the attention thing? It's like men give those women attention, and there's no way in heck that those men are going to get attention reciprocated from those women, but men have that kind of, that they still drool over them and stuff. And I mean, yes, maybe there's a little bit of jealousy there, but maybe some of it is also men are so stupid. Why are they drooling over these people that they would have no chance with?
Well, that's part of my mental problems. Is I actually have, the more attractive you are, the more I don't like you. There's like a weird contrarian aspect to me where if something's more popular, I immediately don't like it. It has to prove something. And women who are
Yeah,
hot, like I actually immediately have a negative reaction to them. And I think part of it is, and I talked to Silver about this last week when we were hanging out. I was like, I think it's because I know I don't have a chance. So I'm just like, screw you. I'm not gonna, like it's like guys think that they have a shot, and so they're used to everybody fawning over them. Whereas I usually act really rude and kind of douchey to hot women.
which is funny because it actually has worked for you.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I've pulled women because I'm annoying. Because I don't give you the time. I'm that guy that makes you feel bad and you feel like you can't do better. That's not how I date people, by
He's
the
the
way.
one.
No, that's quite the opposite of how you treat people when you're dating.
Yes. But for some reason, me being.
Like the initial.
Well,
Yeah.
it's so funny sometimes to see you interact with people, because
Like I'm an alien species.
well, it's yeah, kind of, because it's like those girls who.
Oh,
Well, have you seen him when he's interacting with someone who thinks that they're very attractive?
I don't
Brett
know.
barely gives them the time of day. It's really funny, and it really like deflates them. And
Yeah, they don't know what to
it's
do about
really
it.
kind of funny to watch.
I mean, I
Brett-
haven't witnessed that specifically, but your interaction with my brother was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I can't remember.
It was just, we're moving stuff, and he's ranting about some random games, and you're going like, yeah, buddy.
Well, he was
Brett, it's too
complaining.
bad you're strong in your faith. You'd be very fun to take to a strip club.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's
more
because I'd be
women.
unimpressed. I've seen better. Well, your brother is whining, and he's going, "Yeah, it's really hard. I'm not as strong as you, Dad." And I'm like, "Yeah, I wonder how you get stronger." It's really confusing.
Do a couple of push-ups, maybe.
Well, then he talked about how much he loved Crash Bandicoot, and I was like, "Yeah, I've never liked that game. It kind of sucks." Yes, I am a degenerate who lacks normal social skills and apparently can't interact with women.
The first step is admitting it.
And then embracing it.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, what was her name that used to come to the karate class that did cosplay and stuff?
We're not
I
talking
forget her
about
name.
this individual.
Well, the thing is that
We call her Voldemort.
That's no, that's not her. The other one.
I don't know.
She was married.
I forget everybody.
Okay. It was really funny because she would always be inviting you out to stuff and like talking to you in class and things, and you were just barely like, yeah, whatever. But she was one of the attractive people who got fawned over by the other people in the class, and because you didn't, she would trail you around the class rather than like the other way around.
I don't remember this, but it sounds like me. I'm horrible.
I just want to say I would absolutely Kevin Federline my way to a rich woman. So you guys are all suckers.
Well, look, we're not talking about exceptions to the rule. We're talking about the rule. Just because Ross wants a sugar mama.
Damn right.
You could even get your own rap career.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just need to become a very talented backup dancer and then prey on one of these rich, wealthy pop stars. I'm sure it's an easy thing.
I need
Real easy.
I need a Terry Bollea
It's-
to buy me a pop career.
That's right. But now he's dead, so he can't.
With as many female pop stars who have married their backup dancers, that seems like a pretty good path to success in Hollywood.
Well, usually the people start dancing when they're children. I'm 35. I think I could still pull it off.
Oh yeah, we did talk about or maybe it was just Rhett and I that Rhett could be a backup dancer for Baby Metal.
Oh yeah.
That would be so fun.
Well, I thought it'd be awesome because I would do the little like girl outfits. I would just be this giant guy in the background just going nuts.
Oh yeah.
Where
Do
the
you feel
fourth
bony?
wearing the goth Lolita stuff.
The fourth like Baby Metal member, they call me Rhett Chan.
Reto.
I fully admit and have thought about this that Japanese and probably a lot of Asians would genuinely struggle to say my name. I understand this.
Yes. Yes, they would. You've got the R in it, which is, funnily enough, a very difficult letter for them to pronounce.
Well, not just the R, but the whole name. Like they don't understand it. I've tried to explain how to pronounce it multiple times to a Japanese woman, and she still can do it.
It's like languages that have very like phlegmy, like huh sounds. They're very hard for English speakers to understand in
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah, no, there's probably stuff. I mean, I can't roll my R's very well.
Yeah, it's like in Russian, the letter X in the
That's
Cyrillic
another
alphabet
thing.
is the sound, but it gets translated weirdly.
This is a podcast about gaming, everybody.
Yeah, it is.
So welcome.
Ross, how's it going, Bucko?
Well, Buckaroo, Champ, Slugger, things are good. Week was nice. I started playing Stacked.
Oh, yeah.
a girlfriend came over to hang out, and I played Stacked, and that's I remember that game being kind of a big deal because it was one of those Xbox Live Arcade games. It was like actually a real, and it was good. It's a good game. I'm like about halfway through it.
I was surprised you haven't been doing the Battlefield 6 beta.
Well, you either have to pre-order it, which I refuse to do on a digital game because that's ridiculous, or you have to watch Twitch streamers, certain ones, and for like 30 minutes, and then it'll drop a code.
Well, I know you're a big Twitch guy.
You know me. And I thought about doing that, but then I've seen people posting to their Instagram stories like a queue to get into servers on the beta of like 100,000 people, and I went, I'll wait till next weekend.
We watched a Bond movie.
We did. Dr. No, we're starting from the beginning, people. I plan to make Rhett, because he's seen like some of the Brosnan ones and then the Craig ones.
I think I've seen all of the Brosnan ones and all of the Craig ones except for the last one because I'm not going to give the last one a chance. Now, except now that I have to because we're going to be circling through.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, we're gonna look out for perhaps maybe some videos. I think we'll probably break it down per Bond, which will make Connery awkward because he's gone for one movie and then back after that. So
Dr. No is all right.
Yeah, you know what? It's very early 60s. You can tell it's like, oh, look at this tropical exotic place. Oh, Bond, he's so handsome and like beguiling and devilish.
Well, I just you have expectations when it comes to James Bond, all of the tropes.
Yes.
And it wasn't bogged down by that. It was just sort of a spy show with a little bit of campy stuff to it. And it was all right. Like it wasn't over the top. The pacing wasn't modern sensibilities when it came to pacing, but I wasn't bored. I think I struggled somewhat to, maybe it's because my expectations of the villain's supposed to have some huge master plan, but I struggled somewhat to figure out like, so he's just disrupting missiles from launching? Is that what he's doing?
That's right. He's trying to shame the American space program.
Like, that's not a very evil plan.
It's very evil.
Well, I didn't know what his motivation was either, just because he's doing it.
Yeah, it's like he was like the basically like the treasurer for like I think the Tongs, like criminal organization in China. And then
yeah, that's right.
Stole their money and tried to go to the East and the West, and they both said no thank you. So then Spectre picked his ass up, and now he's doing devious things in Jamaica. As you do.
I also found Dr. No to be a very compelling villain. I kind of liked him.
Yeah, the half Chinese, half German man.
I think his biggest flaw was he put Bond in a cell that was easily escapable.
If he would have just taken his shoes.
But other than that, like he seemed fairly competent.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't just like he was ahead of like 10 steps ahead of Bond every step of the way. The only incompetence was everybody around them lacked the capacity to actually get anything done.
Yeah. If maybe he should have tried another time with those three blind mice guys. Maybe they would have actually shot him.
The constant like musical sequence of the three blind mice assassins.
They had one shot at him and then a car interrupted, and then I guess they just didn't come around again. Maybe
Bond got really lucky. They kind of screwed up on one, and then they were just gone.
Yeah, and he didn't kill him. They didn't get caught. Nothing.
Yeah, strangely.
That's one flaw.
Well, I mean, I was about to say because they're blind, but they weren't actually blind. It was just a gimmick.
No, they're good actor men.
But you know what? Dr. No was all right. I kept expecting like early Bonds for me to be like, ugh. But it wasn't even campy or anything. It was fine. It was fine.
I mean, we can talk about it more at depth a different time, but I will say I think this, like Dr. No and From Russia with Love, are kind of the most grounded of the early ones, and then they kind of like get a little bit
Moonraker or whatever.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Moonraker is.
Because like then you have like Thunderball, which is all underwater scuba fights,
Yes.
and and then you have
Scuba
then you
Steve.
have then you have Diamonds Are Forever, where there's literally a moon buggy chase, but not on the moon. It's in the Vegas desert. So
You're gonna tell me
you
you're gonna
know,
beat
Yeah.
Brosnan like surfing away from a laser from the space, melting the polar ice caps as he's surfing the waves.
and there's an ice tsunami. Yeah,
Man.
you know.
And the villain earlier in the movie had like an accident where a bunch of diamonds got embedded in his face and he never bothers to pick them out.
And no one ever tries to attack him to steal them. I mean, just out on the street somewhere.
Yeah, just later on in the movie, he's got diamonds embedded in his face.
just gets mugged for
What do you
his
have to do?
skin.
Yeah, but he's a dangerous guy. He's a really awesome villain. He's
Yeah, he
Asian. I
is.
assume he knows kung fu.
Well, yeah. I mean, isn't that like genetic or like
Yeah,
a
their DNA.
requirement?
What was that Bobby Lee skit
Yeah.
where it was like he'd just be some Asian guy in a group of people and he'd get really pissed off and yell at somebody and they're like, "Run! He's Asian. He knows kung fu." He's like, "I don't know kung fu."
Watch out, he's dangerous. It's like when Kurt Russell's fighting around the world. Not Kurt Russell. Yeah. No.
Russell Crowe.
What's his name? Russell Crowe. God damn, I knew it was Russell. Anyway, Russell Crowe's fighting around the world.
Fighting around the world.
They like to use their legs.
Oh goodness. Jason was gone last week, probably doing something boring.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh. You had a chance to dunk on us.
Oh,
Couldn't even lie. You're too good of a guy.
No, it was a family thing up in Twin Falls, so
Wow, brutal. Absolutely savage. Calling him boring, huh?
yeah.
Damn.
I finished Oblivion. I 100% of that thing.
Oh my lord.
And I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 15, which means running around doing repetitive missions and fishing.
How's the boy band? They doing good?
Yeah.
My boy Ignis.
Is he the one you've got the hots for, not the emo Noctis or whatever?
Nah, Ignis.
You like the glasses nerdy guy?
Oh yeah.
I get these references now.
Tell me about the lady working at the gas station. That's what I want.
Oh, she's super hot. Yeah, she's mega hot.
Yeah, that's.
She's.
I mean,
She may be the
I
hottest.
don't remember her name,
character
but
in
it's
the
got to be
game.
like Cindy or something.
Yeah, it actually is. I think. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
get rid of these gay guys in the Audi or whatever. About her.
It
Tell me
doesn't
about
help that
her.
she's got mega cleavage and like short shorts
Well,
She works with her grandpa.
and a very
She can
generic
have a
Southern
uniform.
accent. Just yeah. They screwed up the Audi or whatever. Now it's like a like monster truck.
Wait, what?
Well, you can add a feature if you do a side quest to give it like huge off-road wheels. And so now you can drive off-road. So it's like jacked up on giant mega wheels, like some redneck with like his money from slipping on a banana peel.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Wait,
It's given like ability to jump as well, Ross. So that's fun.
Oh,
Oh
I see.
my god! I had a funny thought.
Wow.
What if they like when they made all these deals with like Cup Noodles and Audi and everything else, that they didn't do it for in perpetuity? So like 5 years from now, they're gonna have to do an update to like take out all the branding, and then the game's gonna be just this bizarre brandless game.
There's literal cup noodle missions.
But yeah, it's like how are you gonna fix that? Like what if?
There's
'Cause,
cup noodle outfits. Like all of my characters can run around with cup noodle hats on.
Because the rumor is like those GTA remasters were done, and then the old versions taken off like online stores because of like the radio station like licensing problems.
I mean,
It's like what if that's a thing?
if they haven't done it to Yakuza, Final Fantasy 15 is probably going to make it. Because Yakuza is like 100% advertisements.
Oh, absolutely. But at least it makes sense there.
That's how they fund that game.
To be fair, Square Enix is sometimes really incompetent.
Yeah, that's that. You're not wrong. Oh, and by cup noodle hat, I don't mean baseball hat with logo on it. I mean an actual cup noodle with a face cut out, and then they put it over their heads.
Oh,
It's so stupid.
and even then, they're still so hot.
Yeah. I just hope I fight like the horrible demon at the end of the game. Everybody's wearing cup noodle hats.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Well, that's because I own all the DLC for the. Not only do I have the Ultimate Edition, but anything I missed, I went out of my way to purchase some time ago. So I have everything in that game, and I still hadn't beaten it. It's like it's time I ground through Final Fantasy 15, and I'm having fun for what it is. I'm going to be honest, the PlayStation Portals really pushed this forward.
Playing Final Fantasy 15 while laying in bed.
Yeah, like if I'm in my room, I'm doing something on the Xbox or on the computer or whatever. But if I'm laying in bed trying to fall asleep, I usually play with the Switch. But the Portal's now been my thing. And it's like, oh, so now I have access to the entire PlayStation 5. And so I could just lay in bed and Final Fantasy 15 forever. And watch some pervy anime.
No, yes, as you do.
Gosh dang it, Japan.
Take pictures of you dying. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, Prompto. Freaking nerdy guy.
I just love you'll be like at the end of a battle, maybe you just got away, and you'll see the pictures at the very end of it, and it's like you laying there dead. And it's like, you took a picture instead of helping me.
I always like when I get a picture at the end of the fight, and it's like nothing but leaves, and it's like, what were you trying to capture? He'll actually, you could see him take pictures in the middle of the fights too.
Yeah.
Like he'll stop and go, click.
I think when I first played it, I had to like save one of the images because it was so funny. It was like Cthulhu monster standing over my corpse and he's taking a picture.
You're doing great. You're doing real good.
Good times. And there's a lot of Final Fantasies I have to make up for. Ross was there when I maxed out Final Fantasy 12.
I was with your mega bows and you're cheesing the certain bosses because they're crazy.
Even though I had the cheese game-breaking weaponry, the boss still took like 2+ hours.
I was going to say, I don't remember what I was playing, but we were on voice chat and I was playing and you were just sitting there going like, yep, still fighting him.
Yeah. Oh, I think you came in an hour into it too.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help. He's got an impossible amount of health, and then he has an ability that kills everybody but one person. So then you have to heal everybody and bring them back, and then you have to fight for a while, and then he kills everybody but one person. You have to do it again. And it's an exhausting fight. Yeah, there you go, Final Fantasy. Nerding out. Well, Ross, we had a big conversation last week about some goofy events going on with Mastercard and Steam and
oh yes,
and all that drama. Why don't you give us a TLDR really quickly of what happening?
So basically, we've because we found out, like, we hear that like Mastercard and Visa was almost getting involved, I think, or maybe it was both. Getting involved, saying like, hey, like if like we're not going to allow the sale of these games, like we're going to not let these charges go through. And then we like you look into it and you're like, why is this going on? And it turns out there's this weirdo Australian like feminist anti-porn group.
Well, it was hard for us to figure out if they were left or right wing. They seem to be kind of in the middle of the two.
Yeah, they're kind of both. Collective Shout is their name. Because some of the people that some of the most notable members have like spoken at like Christian things, but they've never said anything, at least that I could find, any major quotes being like overtly Christian themselves.
Well, and they've had like overt feminist attachments, which
very
aren't
much
necessarily Christian. So it's like, I don't.
Yeah. And it's so like we find out that they're kind of behind this, and they were asked like what's going on there, and it's like, well, we tried to reach out to Steam, but they wouldn't respond to us, so then we just went to the card companies. So like people like places like itch.io and Steam are possibly going to be having these problems with selling certain kinds of games, just because the card companies are going to be real a-holes and possibly debank stuff. Like it's very strange.
Activists are pressuring credit card companies to not allow people to purchase certain games that this activist group deems inappropriate on like Steam and itch.io.
Yeah.
Which include some pervy pornographic stuff, some lolly stuff, but also some games that don't qualify for that, or just romance games.
Yeah, what was the one that was really ironic that they were mad about? They were mad about. Oh, I don't have the old articles up, but they were mad about some. Oh, it was Detroit Become Human. That's what it was. Like when that came out years ago, they were mad about that game. Shows women and children being abused or whatever, and it's like, I mean, yeah, but not positively. I mean, that game's about like people being horrific to the innocent.
It's not like they looked at the screen afterwards and said, "This is good."
Isn't this great? God, I love this. Like that's like literally the opposite point the game was making. So stuff like that, like they just take things very literally almost. I mean,
but this opened up a huge problem of when you debank or deplatform or that sort of thing, someone's ability to engage in the financial market. Like it's not an option now whether or not you have to deal with banks and credit cards. Like it's not optional. This is literally a requirement.
Oh.
And when you have credit card companies say, well, we don't like your politics or your opinions or whatever, and we're going to remove your ability to even cooperate in normal society and use money, because it's not actually the government doing this. It's not the government saying you're a criminal and you're being put to jail. Even criminals have credit cards. This is literally the bank deciding they don't like your politics and independently, well, we don't know how independently, but them themselves making decisions whether or not you're even allowed to participate in financial society. And you might go, oh, well, this is that big a deal. They're going after stuff that's inappropriate. That you think is inappropriate now. They went after old women for donating $5 to truckers in Canada and shut off their access to banks. And you might go, I disagree with the truckers. And it's like, first of all, they're allowed to have their opinions. And rolling your eyes now will only end up with you under the firing gun when they come your direction and you do something that crosses them. Because you only give a shit when it's not happening to you and you kind of disagree with their political opinion. This is a dangerous precedent to set. It's anti-American, even though this is happening with Canada and stuff, but it's anti-American because our standards of freedom of speech are far and away much better than the rest of the world's. And I don't get political or patriotic, but freedom of speech is vitally important to discourse, art, political conversation, like across the board. And removing people's ability to even function in normal society is a dangerous precedent to set. Anyway, so we blew up over this and had a big old discussion. If you're curious in that, go skip back to the last podcast. Well, we've got some updates, Ross. You might be curious.
Oh.
Firstly, with my poorly formatted image here, we got a response from Valve, who basically said that Mastercard denied their role in Steam audit purge. And Valve was like, no, you're absolutely involved in this. You are participating. Don't pretend that you weren't. And on top of that, they said that Mastercard was actually contacting the bank and processors, telling them to not allow payments to go through Steam. they weren't contacting Steam themselves. And Steam tried to talk to MasterCard about it, and MasterCard wouldn't talk to them about it. Let me read a little bit.
Hmm.
In a statement to Kotaku, a spokesperson for Valve explained, MasterCard did not communicate with Valve directly. Despite our request to do so, MasterCard communicated with payment processors and their acquiring banks. Payment processors communicated this to Valve. And we replied by outlining Steam's policy since 2018 of attempting to distribute games that are legal for distribution. Payment processors rejected this, specifically cited MasterCard's Rule 5.12.7 and risk to MasterCard's brand, said the spokesperson. So MasterCard was pressuring the bank and payment processors to not allow payments to go through Steam. And Steam's like, we don't allow illegal content on our platform. And MasterCard won't even talk to Valve about this. They were just getting information from the banks where the banks are like, yeah, MasterCard won't let stuff go through because they're worried about their brand reputation.
Which is weird because, I mean, does anyone think of like credit card brands in that way?
No.
Like, no, like you just use it. This is money I use for money. Like the only time that you can damage your brand as a card company like that is having shit policies to the people who use your card. You know, like preventing them from buying something they want to buy online that's perfectly legal.
Which garnered, and we talked about a lot of the moral possible pitfalls of this if banks are finding out that they're using their credit cards to buy children or something. Like there's potential problems, but like those are clearly illegal.
Right.
Valve isn't selling games that are illegal.
Yes.
Regardless, at the time of removal, Valve told PC Gamer, we were recently notified that certain games on Steam may violate the rules and standards set forth by our payment processors and their related card networks and banks. As a result, we are retiring those games from being sold on Steam store. Basically, MasterCard decided they didn't like those games being sold and they were removed. And this was traced back to Collective Shout, a feminist organization in Australia. And then we asked, who are these people and how much influence like what's really how do they exert that much influence over credit card companies? Like that's strange.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this caused a big question as to what's going on. The fact that MasterCard had the nerve to deny it was going on, I think they were trying to protect themselves by forcing the banks to do it. The banks are like, we're not doing it. MasterCard's telling us we have to. and so Valve was like, well, we'll talk to MasterCard. And MasterCard's like, we don't want to talk to you about it. It's like, how crappy is this whole thing?
Yeah, and it really does. I mean, like you mentioned, it even further sets up the question: who the hell are these people? How do they have so much influence? And they're not even in the U.S., where like Mastercard and Steam are based. So like, it's just baffling. There must be big bucks sitting behind this group.
Well,
Well,
go ahead, Jason.
I was going to say not necessarily. This could be a situation where the leadership at um, Mastercard or whatever is totally behind this type of thing. They're like, yeah, we don't want to be in the smut business, so we're going to um, we're going to double down on this. I shouldn't say double down. What I should say is we're going to back this, even though it's really, really dumb.
But see, then that's baffling because I'm pretty sure I think I would have heard if Mastercard doesn't work, say OnlyFans, but as far as I know, it does. So,
Well, this could be like one of those steps in basically making it so that they it's like, let's see if we can get away with this part. If we can get away with this, then we can take the next step and start
yeah,
with
this
say
is the canary in the
OnlyFans.
coal mine, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, in a shocking RKO out of nowhere turn of events after this massive conversation last week of how this is a dangerous, slippery slope where MasterCard is simply dictating to private corporations what they're allowed to sell because they don't like it and it violates their damages their brand or violates their policy or whatever. Shockingly,
But
now we're not a political podcast. We'll comment on whether we like or what we do or don't like about this. But shockingly, Trump comes out of nowhere and issues an executive order basically stopping people from being able to be debanked. Now, I know this is probably has a lot more to do with political debanking from people perhaps that might have been related to his administration or however it's happened over the years. Because I think I think Musk has, a bunch of other people. But let's read, and I quote part of this executive order. And section 4, removing reputation risk and politicized or unlawful debanking. With 180 days of this date of this order, each appropriate federal banking regulator shall, to the greatest extent permitted by law, remove the use of reputation risk or equivalent concepts that could result in politicized or unlawful debanking. Who would have thought, out of nowhere, weirdly enough, Trump has saved pervy anime games on Steam?
I've heard he's a big fan of those hentai games.
That's
what I've heard.
Massive fan.
I play them on my phone. They're great.
I like playing lowly games, not because I'm a perv, because I like to imagine myself a 14-year-old boy, perhaps living the dream when I couldn't when I was young.
I remember the days when I was young. It makes me feel alive. I love it.
And suddenly this whole thing's been thrown out the window. Asmongold had a pretty similar video where it's like, oh, Trump has saved gamers all of a sudden. I mean, completely throwing out the debanking thing, which is horrible and dangerous. And as long as it's not illegal, they shouldn't be dictating, especially when it comes to political speech or art or freedom of speech in any sort of way. But in a out of nowhere move, Trump basically issues an executive order and MasterCard can no longer force stuff off of Steam anymore. Because this is a fairly broad encompassing executive order. And MasterCard can't use the excuse anymore. And we were speculating before this where it's like, are they still going to issue this to other places outside of America, or are they just going to roll back on all
of this? Yeah. I mean, it makes me wonder.
I think they're going to do what they can to keep doing it as long as they can get away with it. It's the thing is that if they can't get away with it in the United States, that doesn't mean they couldn't get away with it, say, in Australia, where it seems that this is coming from. And so it then becomes it then comes down to Australia or England or whoever to say, no, you can't do that here either. I mean, there is precedent now for a country to say, no, we're not going to allow that. But I can totally see some other countries saying, no, it's fine. We're fine with that. We don't mind if you debank companies and platforms and whatever else, because there are definitely places, Canada maybe, that are, like you said, with the truckers and the little old ladies that were contributing small amounts of cash to their cause. I can totally see Canada saying, yeah, we're not going to allow you to contribute to political dissidents in our country, and just whoever the government currently doesn't like is the political dissident. And so I think that certain countries will be totally behind this and will allow them to do it.
Yeah, land of the free and home of the pervy anime games. It was funny in a sudden turnabout over our massive discussion last week. Oh, we suddenly get an executive order where they can't do this anymore. And especially with Mastercard pretending it's not happening. And it's like, oh, this is happening. And it's funny that Steam didn't try and stand up to him, but I guess they just want the money.
Well, it sounds like Steam was just ignoring it.
Initially,
No, Steam
yeah.
removed a bunch of games because of Mastercard's pressure.
Oh,
Yep.
never mind then.
Yeah, they
Steam shouldn't roll over for that kind of crap.
Well, but I mean,
They should have just
Mastercard's a
said,
huge.
"Suck it."
Yeah, I mean Mastercard's an enormous credit card. Like that's if Discover or American Express were saying it, maybe, but it's a huge payment
I mean,
processor gone. The problem is they could affect you know banks that use other like maybe you use Visa, but it's a bank that Mastercard has pressured. I mean that could have cascading effects for Steam. I don't blame them, but but this
no.
did start out with them ignoring that feminist group, so.
This also makes me ask
I
the
mean,
question of like the effort to, I guess, deplatform or censor content or political speech that people don't like by going through bank processors to try and just destroy them and remove them from polite society. And how dangerous that is, and that they were using such a scummy avenue of going after MasterCard for allowing these sorts of payments. The fact that it's blocked is of a massive benefit to gamers and people who like whatever content that might fall under this purview. But then that also tells me it's like these groups don't go away, they just find another way to exert pressure to try and remove stuff that they disapprove of. I mean, if it wasn't
yeah.
busybody overextending Christians in the 80s and 90s, and then if it wasn't the woke crowd who banned the same sorts of things for weirdly confusingly different reasons, to whatever, freedom of speech is going to be freedom of speech, but there is a concerted effort behind the scenes to ban, block, and deplatform things that they disapprove of, not to argue against or show that it's wrong, but completely remove their ability to even conduct business, which is horrifying.
Yeah. See, that's where people, I think, make their mistake. They're like, "Oh, this is totally fine," because they're just
Something I
banning
disagree
things
with.
we don't like.
Yeah.
Well, they're just like, yeah, this is they're just banning smut. They're not banning anything that is a problem. It's just this stuff. But the thing is, as soon as they do that, it it then gives them an incentive, or not necessarily an incentive, but then it's almost like we've granted them permission to start banning other things. And just imagine if whatever the political parties, whichever one that you think is the worst one, gets in power and decides that they're going to debank their competitors so they can no longer uh, raise funds for political um, uh, office, for political campaigns. Then one side kind of has an advantage there, and it quickly becomes apparent that this can go so wrong so fast.
People forget, like if I'm talking to you and you're quite young, let me at least remind you that it was like 5 minutes ago where we had different versions of Mortal Kombat because parents complained that there was blood in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
The Nintendo version had sweat. You could only get the blood version if you were on the Genesis, or actually paying for it in the arcades.
Which is why Genesis was always cooler and more edgy.
That's right.
Yep.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Well, then they'd have versions with green blood because red was considered, oh, well, that's too. And it's like we've gone down these roads where they ban, modify, change games, change art, change content, or just shut people up from saying, I don't like a thing or I disagree with your opinion. I know opinions are scary. And I know seeing things that you disapprove of makes you uncomfortable. But if we banned everything that I dislike, there'd be a lot of stuff banned. But I don't want to ban everything I dislike. I want people to be able to disagree and even enjoy content that I disapprove of, as long as it's in the purview of whether or not it's legal or not. Obviously, if it's illegal, it should be banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this stuff. I mean, with the banking and like payment processors, this stuff happening with gun related stuff years and years ago when
Yeah.
I worked at a gun shop. So I mean, it's been a thing floating around for a while.
I mean, this was talked about being a problem for GTA 6. If you're sitting here
Yeah.
rolling your eyes like this isn't an issue, they were talking about this being a problem for GTA 6 and potential content that would exist in that game. Like, there are groups, there are special interests worldwide as well as in this country who would look at Grand Theft Auto 5 and go, I disapprove of the violence, the murder, the teaching criminal activity, and finding ways to restrict people from being able to purchase it, banning it entirely, or forcing it to be censored. And you're going to sit there and roll your eyes, but it's happened multiple times in the gaming community. And you like him or hate him, but this is a huge move forward where they can't use banks to deplatform people, especially things like games. And Trump made a right decision, whether it's for his political aims or the fact that it's so wide sweeping it hits Steam. Just because you don't give a shit about the games that are being banned doesn't mean they won't come for you. And games you like and games you care about. And this is why this story is important and why it was confusing. Nobody cared or was remotely talking about it. This is a question of freedom of speech and your ability to access games. Games that you even might like or purchase.
Not just that. I mean, Ross made a good point about the working at the gun shop. One of the things that we always have a problem, or not a problem with, but necessarily, but one of the things that we talk about a lot in the United States, obviously, is guns and the Second Amendment, and this is a way to get around that. If you can debank people selling guns, technically Congress hasn't made it so that you can't buy a gun. The banks have.
Well, sure. But I'm just trying to direct it to somebody who might stumble onto this podcast, seeing as we're not a gun podcast. And I'm phrasing it in terms of video games and why it might matter to somebody who might actually give a damn. That you might roll your eyes and be like, well, I can still play my Zelda. And it's like, well, what if they say they disapprove of the fantasy violence? It can be banned. Everybody assumes that freedom of speech is a given. It's not a given. This is literally the only country that allows for freedom of speech. And you might go, well, that's not true. They have freedom of speech in England. They don't. They literally don't. No. People have been in prison for things they have thought in their own heads. People have been sent to prison for opinions they have in places like Germany and France. And they go, well, we have freedom of speech. No, you don't. Well, not for bad stuff like hate speech or whatever. It's like, well, they don't have freedom of speech. Freedom of speech only matters when it's stuff I don't like. Hey, guess what? I don't like pervy anime games. They wouldn't exist if only things I like existed on Steam. But guess what? They do exist because I think people have freedom of speech. And they should be able to access those things. Freedom of speech only matters when it's stuff you disagree with. If we only allowed for speech and content that only agrees with you, then it's not freedom of speech. It's just an echo chamber of your bullshit.
That's really the test of freedom of speech right there. Is do they allow people who have a differing opinion to voice that opinion? Just because you don't like it doesn't mean they can't say it. And that's really the test right there.
People always get the concept of freedom of speech incorrect too. It's like, well, freedom of speech, it means I can do anything I want to. It's like, well, no. You can't do illegal things.
Right. And how many times have like is especially recently in the UK, which people are like, oh, the UK has freedom of speech. How many times have people gotten arrested for something they posted on Twitter, on
Constantly.
X, if you will?
But
Yeah,
there have been
it's like that's
cases.
not really freedom of
There have been cases in Germany
that's
where
not really freedom of speech there.
somebody said horrible about something somebody did to them, and they got a harsher sentence than the person that did the thing to them.
Yeah, yeah, which is
but in terms of art and games,
bonkers.
this is important. And I know you might not give a damn, but this is important. Because look, just because they might do something you agree with now, all it does is take an election where somebody's in charge that has a political opinion you disagree with, and they're like a busybody Christian, and they go, I don't approve of the stuff you like. I'm gonna pass a law to ban that. They're like, well, you can't do that, and it's like, well, you already allowed for banning other stuff. Everybody always assumes delusionally that their political perspective is so grandiose and correct that all it does is take one election, they're going to take over and be in charge, and then they'll be in charge forever because everybody will understand how correct their politics is. And if anybody pays attention at all for 5 minutes, they'll understand that that's not how history goes. That political parties and people who are in charge swings back and forth, especially in this country. And you might pass a law that allows you to get rid of stuff you don't like now. But when you're not in charge and the other people are in charge, they will use that same law to ban things they don't like. And suddenly it becomes a problem.
How many times have recently have people said it's rules for me and not for thee?
If you're going
about political things.
If you're going to exist in a society where everybody has to agree, well, not agree. If we're going to exist in a society where I am in a room with people I disagree with, and we're not at each other's throats and murdering each other constantly, we have to build a society where the rules are applicable to everybody. Because otherwise, we cannot get along. There has to be an even playing field so that we can all just do our own thing and not bother each other. The idea that you need to impose a society so that your side has everything, all that results is the other side hating you and stuff getting worse. Perhaps we should make a place where everybody gets to do what they want and leave each other alone. I know. Confusing. Stuff like this matters. And you know, it's an actual very good thing that the executive order was done. And it applies to gamers. Literally, there are video games that you could not purchase before Trump passed this executive order. Now you have access to these games. And a lot of these games were unrightly brought up in this umbrella. Some of them were just like romance games that had nothing wrong with them, that were just thrown under the bus. GTA 6 was under the radar for this sort of thing. I want to be able to punch my android wife and be on human or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I mean, in the game, Ross, in the game.
Uh-huh. Just the game, that's all.
But yes, to reiterate and have this conversation once again, in a confusing turn of events, Mastercard decided to exert a bunch of pressure because some weird group in Australia. And all of that's been thrown out the window, at least for Americans, because we give a damn about freedom. Yeah, America. USA. USA. You should see us sometimes when me and Silver are doing really bad in Elden Ring. We can't beat a boss. We degenerate to American slogans.
As we're just dying, just And I'm proud to be
Yeah.
an American.
Yes, we start singing the "I'm Proud to Be an American" song while fighting like horrible demons in Elden Ring, and then we'll beat it and we'll be like USA, USA.
It works. It's motivational.
It does. It helps. I'm inspired. Really quickly on the drama with Mastercard and trying to shut up game developers, and the fact that all of this has been reversed within a matter of days. Nothing. We all set our
You
piece.
kind of cut out
You
there.
cut it out.
Really
Thing
quickly,
is
with Mastercard and some group in Australia trying to ban stuff on Steam, and the fact that it's all been reversed from a sweep of a pen from Drumpfler.
which is awesome. I mean, that's like you said. This is on the surface. People are going to say this is a financial thing, but like you said, like you pointed out, this goes way deeper than that into freedom of speech territory. Now, if you don't believe that people should be making these games, that's something different, and you can believe that all you want. Um, but what's going to influence people to not make these games is not the fact that you are blocking them from getting paid through Mastercard. If that didn't hold up, somebody would find a way. What you need to do is um, actually not make it so that that is a is financially viable. But this is not the way to do that.
What do you think, Ross?
You know what? You should still contact your legislature something if this is something that matters to you, because
Yeah, they were
executive orders can
flooding.
go out the window.
They were flooding phone calls to Mastercard. Mastercard kept claiming to people who were calling in that they weren't doing it, and they were.
Yeah, so
It's not us. It's not us. It totally is you.
yeah, get a hold of your legislator. Let's make this a law so it can't just go away at the stroke of a pen.
Where the next guy goes, well, special interests are giving me money behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get rid of this executive order because they pay me, and then suddenly a bunch of games are banned on Steam.
Mm-hmm. So,
And this is me defending this on ethics and principle, when I would guarantee that 99% of the games that were banned are probably games I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
solely
funny, like-
upset because of my morality.
It's funny that you said that these games, that some of them that were affected by it were ones that were just like dating sims
Yeah, there
that
was
didn't
somewhere that
have.
reported that it actually hit a lot of stuff that wasn't actually inappropriate.
I wonder if it was one of those situations where the company, either the developer or the publisher also had games that were um, that had pornography or whatever in it, and they were kind of just blanket banning that developer or that publisher, and so um, not all of their games were smut, but because it was a blanket ban against them for doing one or two games or 10 games, but the vast majority of the games that they released were not. I'm wondering if it's that kind of situation.
I don't know directly. I just know that some of them weren't inappropriate. So my guess would
Uh-huh.
be most of them would probably still be kind of dirty.
Yeah. And the thing is just because they didn't in the in a dating sim, just because it didn't necessarily have dirty pictures or whatever, um, because they had like you could suggest things um, in the dialogue.
Well, I don't
Maybe
know.
they're a little bit more adult that
But it's
way.
like when you think about a lot of anime, it's like, oh well, this is a romance anime where one guy falls. It's like, will they, won't they? And maybe she's like a tsundere and he's like some douche,
Right.
and she's not given in the time of day and blah blah blah. And normally, like, basically it's just some cute story about their slowly growing affection, or he's getting her attention or whatever. And sometimes there's little pervy moments. If you stop and think about it, it's like, well, technically, because they're in high school, they're underage, and so technically some of that might fall under some sort of like, this could be inappropriate. So suddenly a huge swaths of anime qualify for this is inappropriate because it would be classified as underage because there's like romantic drama between high school kids where maybe you kind of see her underwear or whatever. There becomes blurry lines when it comes to what could be defined under whose rules is what is appropriate or isn't appropriate. And stuff like this, like, they haven't gotten to anime yet. It would be my response to that. Not that, oh well, they're not going to go after anime, it's too popular. It's like, yet they may yet start.
Well, actually, now that you say that, I do know that so Microsoft recently came out and said they are no longer going to be selling certain entertainment content on their store. You can still buy games, but you can no longer buy TV or movies through their store. All the stuff that you've already bought still belongs to you. You can still watch it and everything. They've just stopped selling anything else. And I have purchased a number of things through.
Confusingly, you purchase a lot of games for Xbox, a lot of movies and shows.
Well, the thing is it's kind of nice. It's like I don't have to have a Crunchyroll subscription. I can just buy one season and watch it, and it's mine to watch and whatever else. But
well, you quote unquote own
like
it,
I said,
yes.
Yeah. They recently got rid of that aspect. They're not doing it anymore. And now I forget what I was going to say. But yeah.
Oh well.
Hopefully it'll come back to me.
It'll come back to you. Yeah, they could ban anime. Like all it does is take somebody who doesn't like something, and suddenly you're in the crosshairs.
There were multiple versions of some anime on their on the site. There was uncut, which usually was dubbed, but not edited. And then there was the simul-dub, which apparently was dubbed and the television broadcast version. And so some of those could have things cut out for decency, I guess. And then they would have the original Japanese version with subtitles. So they not all of them had those, but a lot of them did have those 3 different versions. And so there have been times, I know that Cowboy Bebop is one where they did censor some of the episodes or broadcast on television. There's one in particular where Faye breaks in through a window into this bedroom, and apparently in the Japanese versions it's 2 guys in the bed, and in the American version it's just one guy and she interrupts him sleeping.
Well, it's dumber than that. It's the guy that's.
I'm just saying.
It's the guy that's on top that actually shows up in the edited version. So it just looks like a guy on his hands and knees under the blankets, like looking over the door, confused. It's like, why are you in that position alone?
That is stupid. But there are things like that where they have censored some of the American broadcasts of those anime.
Yeah, and these are subject to individual policies and that sort of thing. My problem was credit card companies intervening. Censorship is always going to be a thing, and there'll be legal questions as to what should be allowed on public broadcasting or what should be allowed. And Like this is going to
Right.
be a give and
And
take
and
in society.
and
Period.
I agree that especially for what is shown on television, that there are certain things that maybe, you know, shouldn't be broadcast on say free television, but um
Well, and censorship is
it
something
should it shouldn't.
there are episodes of Community that you can't watch on Amazon if you buy the
That's
show
true.
that they completely remove.
Which is that I don't agree with.
There are
If I'm
episodes
paying
of
for the show,
Always Sunny that you can't see anymore that are completely removed. There are episodes of South Park that you can't see anymore that
yeah.
have been completely removed. Guess what? I
I'm
own
trying
the Blu-ray box set of Community, and I'm going to watch Ken Jeong do blackface all day long, and he can't pretend it never happened. I'm just going to run it on a loop, and he there's nothing he can do about
That's right.
it.
Really stick it to him.
This has been a thing forever. I think my problem was a third party was intervening and telling people they couldn't even use money to purchase things on platforms. These are things you should think about on a regular basis. The eroding of your personal liberties and properties. Like, I mean, Stop Killing Games was a big thing when it came to consumer rights, which caused all of this drama with pirate software. Consider your rights as a consumer. If you purchase a game, you should still have access to it, and they can't shut it off. These are questions that we should be thinking about if we care about video games. Video game preservation was a big question when it came to Stop Killing Games. Removing your access and then not being able to play them anymore. Silver, what do you think? I'm going to put you on the spot, and you had all these thoughts, and suddenly you can't remember what you were going to say.
As always, yes, they are gone.
I tipped my head, and my ideas fell out.
Exactly, they fall out my ear whenever you ask me a question. It's great.
Put in a plug.
Are
you afraid of your anime going away?
It did remind me, wasn't there, I want to say like maybe 6 years ago, Australia was talking about banning anime, and it's kind of looping back around now with this.
Oh yeah?
It was forever ago, but I remember
what's wrong, Australia?
big thing.
You've really gone off the deep end over there.
I forget what position of power they had in Australia, but there was a whole thing where they just like went up there. I want to say they did like a press conference or something talking about them animes. We can't let the children watch them animes.
Well, if you recall, the Australian Prime Minister tried to ban like memes that go after government officials or some such, which spawned all of the people turning him into a clown on the internet using AI.
That's right.
Which I put in the intro of one of our podcasts of him just being a clown, which he tried to ban in Australia because he didn't like people making fun of him.
Not a clown.
Well, I live in America, you douche. Stop me now.
Yeah, does anybody else feel Xi Jinping energy here from Australia? Or is it just me?
A lot of countries have that problem. It's the give and take between this is going to be slightly, well, this is nerdy, less directly political. There's a give and take in politics between sort of the extreme ends of liberty and tyranny. And in order to solve problems, you have to add more government and regulation, which reduces freedom. In order to give you freedom, you have to reduce government control and regulations. There's going to be a give and take. So when people see problems in society, they go, well, why can't the government fix that? And the government, to fix it, has to exert more control. And then you're like, I don't like the government having too much control. And then it's like, well, you wanted them to fix it. And it causes there's a back and forth, and the West has been going down a dangerous road of, we see societal problems, why doesn't the government take more and more control to try and make these things better? Oh no, I can't do anything anymore because the government has too much control. Think about it, everybody. But we don't want to dwell on that too long. We're to have stupid conversation about farts and such. Anyway, let's stumble to the bathroom. I'm not feeling well.
The Distracted Gamer Podcast. Big steaming pile of news dump.
Hey everybody, we're in the toiletries. Everybody's stuck in the bathroom with me because we got stuff to do. The big, gigantic bit of news that everybody's been talking about is Gina Carano stuff. I'm going to be honest. She seems like a lovely person. We've talked about Gina Carano's drama before. I'm not horrifically invested in her case. Well, insofar as I don't like Disney and the sort of things they've been doing to shut up freedom of speech. Hey, freedom of speech once again. I'll bring it back a second. I'm happy for her that she seems to have. It seems like her and Disney have had a settlement between them. We don't know what it is. If anybody aren't aware, Gina Carano tweeted some stuff, and a bunch of people behind the scenes in Disney decided they didn't like it at the height of very politically correct, woke-minded, corporate level stuff going on like 5 years ago. Well, I don't know if this was 5 years ago, but at the height of that, 4 years ago. And they decided they didn't like her having political opinions that they disapproved of, so they tried to shut her up. The problem is, you can't outright say that. So they kind of made up some reasons, and then it kind of been muddled. And, well, a huge lawsuit got filed. Honestly, because of the tweet, Elon Musk said, if you say anything on Twitter that's deemed freedom of speech and you were unjustly fired, that he would pay for it. And he super paid for her lawsuit and helped her do it. And everybody was crossing their fingers, hoping we were going to get discovery and like emails from Kathleen Kennedy saying, get rid of that stupid woman and her stupid face, and I hate Republicans, and whatever drama behind the scenes. We didn't get any of that. Like everybody was hoping it was going to be this big smoking gun email release and telling us how bad corporate life was behind, the doors of Disney. But she had a settlement. Now, this is good. If anybody cares about freedom of speech, this is good. If anybody wants Disney to be brought down a notch. Is it the damage to Disney everybody hoped it would be? No, but honestly, it's more important for her to feel happy with what happened in the end. She was deplatformed across the board. She couldn't get jobs. People wouldn't let her do anything in Hollywood. And if she's happy with it, then that's great. She seems like a lovely person, and I'm glad that she took Disney down a notch. I'm not horribly invested and obsessed with this case, like seems a lot of people are, but good for her.
Yeah, I was really hoping that the discovery phase would be tasty and delicious, but
like horrible emails of like, get rid of that stupid woman.
Yeah, like I was really
awesome.
And people wonder if maybe because Disney's not known for often reaching settlements like this.
No, they're very litigious and awful when they do like have lawsuits.
Yeah, they're not Turner in the 90s. Like they will run you into for no other reason than just to squash you. So it makes people theorize that maybe what would have been found in Discovery was really bad.
Why they sell? Yeah, there have been stories of Disney paying private investigators to search through people's trash.
Oh yeah, gosh. Just like come up to your house and ask you questions, like just to bother you or people you know.
Bully you, and yeah,
that's bad.
But good for her. They even had this weird like blanket statement, which seemed like disingenuous. Um, let's see. Miss Carano was always well respected by her directors, co-stars, and staff, and she worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. You had this is the most PC. You had to say that. With the lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Carano in the near future. You also have to say that, because if you say we still refuse to work with her because we don't like her opinions, then that undermines the settlement.
Yeah.
So you have to pretend like, no, we look forward to working with her in the future. We're never going to hire her ever again. You know, possibly, you know, down the road. We don't hold grudges. We super hold grudges.
Yeah, and it's like, you said that she said like abhorrent things. What are you talking about? What? Oh,
There we
well. I mean,
go.
settlement helps.
Settlement helps. Hey Ross, the John Wick spinoff ballerina stumbles the landing with Lionsgate with a 94 million quarterly net loss from Lionsgate for that movie.
Oh,
Yikes.
ouchie.
I don't know why people thought, hey, everybody loves John Wick. How about Strong Woman?
How about
Well,
not John Wick?
How about not
yeah.
John Wick? How many
It's
times
just-
do we get this? Hey, you like Alan Wake? How about Black Detective Woman? Well, no. Hey, you like Doctor Strange? How about we do a Doctor Strange
How
movie
about
that features
America?
mostly Scarlet Witch? Oh, and his sidekick is America Chavez. We barely
like
get any
Mad
Doctor
Max?
Strange, yeah.
Well, what about Furiosa?
What about Furiosa? Let's do and it's not that I'm bothered by women action movies. Women action movies can be great. What pisses me off is you have a John Wick and then we go, but girl though. It's like, I'm not here for you. I'm here for John Wick. I'm not here for Furiosa. I'm here for Mad Max. Don't give me a Mad Max movie featuring Mad Max, mostly 90% Furiosa. It's bullcrap. I hate it.
And as a certified hater, uh, I don't think the John Wick brand is so strong you can just slap it on anything and it'll sell.
Yeah, it's almost like Keanu Reeves is especially, the draw.
I
Beloved?
think, yeah. I mean, you could have had Action Man quote unquote John Wick movie. I don't think it would have made as much money either. Like it's a Keanu thing. Let's be real.
Well, this seemed to always
We
be.
were-
Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
Well, we were discussing this a little bit earlier, and I was unaware that there was a second spin-off from John Wick. I was only aware of the ballerina, which goes to show you just how stupid they were when they thought, you know what? This is what we'll do. We'll spin off from John Wick, and that failed. So this one will definitely succeed.
This seems like a weird
Um,
lefty, maybe it's a woman thing, where they're like, oh, there's a cool thing you can do. We're just going to replace it with girl and it'll be just as good. And it's like, you can't just do that. That's not how this works. It's not like
The thing is
it's
that
not like a hat where you just take hat off, a successful movie, put hat on the other one, and suddenly people love it.
yeah,
They've been trying so many times with Marvel movies to try and like rub
do
off
that.
the fame of the one guy onto the girl sidekick, and no one cares. I don't know why they think that's how that works. That's not how that works. You can't just give the status of one person to the other person that's just as good. It's like they lack the capacity to understand why it worked in the first place. And this is why you lose money.
definitely.
Good Lord. How many? It's like the most common sense drivel. Why do I find myself being forced to talk down to multi-million, if not billion corporation that seems
Well,
to have been
unfortunately,
hit in the head and damaged in some irrevocable way? And yeah, it's like they lack the capacity to understand that that's not how this works. It's like, well, what, you think you're smarter? In this case, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I think that there are several reasons that we get this kind of stuff. I think some of it is echo chamber. Hollywood is in their own little world over there in California, and when executives sit down, they're like, "Oh, this would be amazing," and all the people around them are yes men and just say, "You're right." When uh, it has been shown time and time again that that's not what happens. I think some of the other another portion of it is BlackRock. I've got the company right, exerting their influence in what they see as I don't know. They're I don't really know why they're doing that kind of stuff.
Well, it's
It's like,
ideological.
well, right, it is ideological,
No, they genuinely
but
believe.
well, no, I understand that. I understand that that's the thing, that they believe this garbage. What I don't, I guess what I don't understand is, um, obviously we've talked about this before. BlackRock has so much money that that these losses are a drop in the bucket to them, but it can't go unnoticed that studios that follow these directives from BlackRock are going out of business.
Oh,
For
they're
them, it's
starting
obviously
to
not a drop in the bucket.
they're starting to change. I think they finally realize that this is not a financial winner. And the force and influence exerted by places like BlackRock and what's the other stupid one? Vanguard is
Mm.
not
Yeah.
enough all of the time. But Cap Cruise makes a comment. The Continental show was weird. I kind of liked it. Here's the thing: even if you like these shows, let's say you do, because I haven't seen it. Even if you like them, that does not guarantee financial success in general. Is the problem?
No.
It's not attracting John Wick fans when you make a show that's mediocre that's not about John Wick.
Yeah.
Uh, let's shuffle along. I'm glad you liked it. I mean, people always take it personal. It's like, well, I don't actually care if people enjoy things like that. Like, it doesn't bother me. What I'm talking is in general, that is not a guarantee for success.
Yeah. It's one of those things where we've talked about it before. It's like if you release a movie and only one person likes it, that really doesn't that really isn't going to make your movie success. You have to make it so it's successful to a general audience. That's how
Modern
you get your
society
money.
lacks the capacity to understand things like on average or whatever. Because when you say, like,
Yeah, which is really
well,
weird.
people didn't go see it. Well, I liked it. I was like, I don't care you liked it. Like most
So
people didn't see it. It's good, great. You liked it. Well, and I think part of the problem is people take it personally. They see things as what they
yeah,
like
yeah.
as who they are, and that's like a personal attack. It's like, no, it's nothing about you. It's about the fact that most people don't enjoy the movie, and I'm glad that Disney made a movie that they spent $200 million on that you and your two friends enjoyed. That's awesome. They sure
With-
wasted $200 million to get you as an audience.
Yeah, and the thing is that if you liked it, which is great, you aren't wealthy enough to make the movie a success. And if you are wealthy enough to make the movie a success, why didn't you? Why didn't you dump 500, they spent $200 million on the movie. Uh, Go ahead, dump $500 million on Disney and say thank you.
I wish we were a billionaire so we could just make movies just for me to cater to my interests and then not show them in theaters. It'd just be my movies. By the way, Cap Cruise, it might sound like I'm condescendingly talking down to you. I'm not talking down. I'm talking in general to the hyperbolic symbol that is the person that says I like something. I have no
That would be
opinion
so funny.
on the Continental. Maybe it's good. I don't know. I
That would
heard
be
mediocre, but that's great. Whatever.
that would be so funny. The buzz in Hollywood around Rhett's new movie that no one is going to see but him.
I'm okay with
We
that.
hear that MGM is coming out with a new movie just for Rhett.
That's right. None of you get to. It's got all the big actors in it, and I'm the hero. The next Bioshock game has reportedly been revamped after failing internal review. The remake of the first game has been shelved. Apparently, internal review said it wasn't working or was bad, and they're like, we're just not going to do the remake
Oh
anymore. Moving
no.
on. Yeah, I know. Another Bioshock news, something. Jason found this.
So apparently the CEO over at Take-Two was assuring people that BioShock 4 is still coming out. They
Just the
haven't canceled
remake, I
it.
guess, was
Um,
canceled. Yeah.
yeah, it's like things aren't going very well over at Take-Two, and the worry that people are having here is that because of the cancellation of the other one, um maybe that we're not going to get BioShock 4. And he's like, no, that's still coming,
Wait, they're having financial trouble? Don't they publish Grand Theft Auto? What kind of deal do they have with Rockstar?
Yeah, well,
Anyway,
Rockstar talked about not having money despite the fact that they brought in like $2 billion from GTA 5.
yeah, good God.
Somebody spends their money wisely. Moving on really quick. Survey claims women view anime, comic books, and Magic the Gathering among the least attractive male hobbies. Apparently, this article writer says that that's BS. You are coping, Spencer.
Yeah. See, this is one of the things that um obviously, least attractive hobbies and stuff, it doesn't make men look manly.
No,
This makes men look like children.
I can
And
believe.
so,
I can
yeah,
believe it. Yeah.
it this isn't going to be, um I mean, seriously, women are going to think of things like hunting, fishing, working on your car, uh, working on your house, things like that. They're going to see those hobbies as manly, and more attractive than watching anime and reading comic books.
Right. Well, let's at least address this article. However, as happens to be the case with most headlines that attempt to shame people for simply engaging with harmless hobby that has been deemed childish or immature by insecure, self-hating older generations, said study is 100% full of crap. This is cope, sir.
Yeah,
Look,
definitely cope.
I'll play games, I've watched anime, and I've read comics. I 100% understand the logic behind why women find that unattractive. And simply screaming at the sky that you don't like that women find that unattractive does not make them think you're hotter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the real Sigma Chad alpha move is to do it anyway and not give a shit what women think. Because
There
women
you
don't know what they
go.
want.
If they like you, they like you. I like
Yeah.
his, in the immortal words of Homer Simpson, people can come up with statistics to prove anything. So now you're doing the general statistics or
Waving it
crap
away.
and not addressing the actual study or the reason why. Like, you're just like, roll eyes, this is stupid. Believe it or not, there are character traits that are considered more attractive to women, and comic books are not one of them. That does not mean that women cannot date a man who likes comic books.
Well, not only that, but this doesn't even negate the fact that there are some women out there who do enjoy anime, comic books, and whatever else, and that a man who also enjoys those things would be seen as attractive to those women. This doesn't negate that. It just says, in general, most women don't find these attractive hobbies. It,
You might
it,
not
it
like it,
really is that simple.
but that's like saying, I don't like that I have to work to eat. And it's like, well, all of human history has existed in this manner.
Let's see.
I
Um,
don't like pain,
how
feel
many?
bad. Well, you might as well just scream at the heavens.
Yeah.
I don't
How
like thing,
many
it should
female
change.
hobbies out there do men think are attractive on women?
Punching
I mean,
androids.
you're gonna find things like shopping is not really one of those things that men find attractive in women. But that doesn't negate the fact that there are a lot of women who like that and are gonna do it.
And I would guarantee that those character traits that are listed in that study, if you found somebody who was all about those character traits, the immediate assumption with that person's a loser. Even if they're not, the bias would be
Right.
that they're a loser, because the assumption would be that that person is obsessed with escapism and their hobbies and not self-improvement or developing a career, or it's getting lost in their own head and obsessed with fantasy. And those aren't character traits that guarantee attractiveness in the opposite sex. I'm sorry that breaks your
Yeah.
stupid brain, but we need to move on.
What I think is so funny is just the way he dismissed it.
Well, yeah, because statistics dumb. Anyway, Superman star Maria Gabriela de Faria believes the engineer is a hero. She teams with the
What?
wrong person, but for the right reasons, Ross. She's a good
That's
person.
not what that means. That's still just a villain. You can enjoy your part in a movie and still be the bad guy. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. You're not morally a bad person. I don't.
Basically, your idea here is that you've decided that this person is a good guy, even though your whole goal was to kill someone.
Let me read her
And not
quote.
just to kill anyone, to kill a good guy.
Read her quote before we start assuming opinions and comments. And we'll just decide that she's full of it and there's a lot of cope for her pretending that she's actually a good person. It's just who she is in this story. She happens to be teaming up with the wrong person, but for the right reasons. She does want to change the world and make it better. She's deeply affected by the path the world has taken, has been hurt so much. Her parents were killed in a violent accident, and she needs to change. So she's using Lex as a tool to make that happen. She continued, and at the beginning, she does believe in him. He has, very good reasons to do what he does. And she starts to realize he's not the person to do that and to team up with, but she's too deep into it now and she can't back out. Did you get any of that out of the movie?
None of that was in the movie. It just wasn't there. Was it even ever in the script, or was this just something Gunn told her? Look.
It's like she developed her own backstory of being the hero despite being a piece of shit in the movie.
Yeah, you're just one of the heavies. It's okay. I don't...
Yeah, well, my headcanon means that I'm actually a really good person, and I'm in too deep, and I can't stop now. It's like you tried to murder him with your tentacle arms.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, you're secretly a good person. Well, whatever you got to tell yourself, lady, to get through the filming. This could be a massive discussion. We are going to keep it very short. Sony executive has confirmed that, I don't know how to get rid of this, PlayStation is moving away from the hardware business toward platform business. Comments. Go away.
Interesting that we've seen Xbox go this way for a while, and now
it's like Xbox knew this with Game Pass and was getting ahead of everybody. And though PlayStation might be winning this generation, Game Pass will survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sadahiko Hayakawa, the senior vice president in charge of finance at IR and IR at Sony, said, "In the gaming business, we are moving away from a hardware-centric business model more to a platform business that expands the community and increases engagement." The thing is that this does make a lot of sense from the perspective of a company where you're going to have a lot more revenue if you get off the hardware bandwagon and jump on to, say, PC or something. because that's being taken care of for you by somebody else.
Remember when we were talking about how Game Pass is potentially ruining games, and games are no longer being sold in the normal fashion that they used to be? You want to know something interesting? Like a week ago, we had an article. Despite the layoffs and whatnot, Game Pass revenue passed nearly $5 billion for the first time.
God damn.
This is in contrast to is like 2.8, 2.9 in 2021. It's almost like Xbox knows the direction the winds are going.
Yeah. Well, God, that's depressing. I hate that.
Yep. Buy your physical copies, everybody. And also related to this, here's Concord. Jason, didn't you put this up here?
No, I did.
No, I didn't
Ross.
put that one in.
So a Sony exec, the chief financial officer, Lin Tao, has admitted that its current live service strategy is, quote, not entirely going smoothly.
Practically all of their big live service long-term plans crashed and burned.
Well, yeah, because they brought in Bungie, probably so they get that Destiny 2, but then also on possibilities of Marathon, only to have Marathon not go over well, and Destiny 2 is in the tank. And of course, Concord before that, which, ate a big fat one, in 10 days? So it's not good. I mean, the only one that's doing well live service is Helldivers.
I have a mini fridge with a bunch of drinks in there, and it's kept very cold because I like it when it's almost freezing. And all of the drinks that are the same drink despite different flavors, one of the flavors has got a slightly different chemical compound, and all of those flavors are freezing when the rest of them are fine.
Oh.
Which is just frustrating because I go in and they're all frozen. Anyway, it's a brave new world we're moving in the game universe. Bunch of shows are canceled.
Yeah, I was looking at the TV shows in 2025 that were apparently canceled. We have Paramount is going to end Star Trek Strange New Worlds after season 5. Amazon Prime has already canceled Wheel of Time after series 3. Disney Channel, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Andor, Goosebumps. HBO is canceling the franchise. Hulu is canceling The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, that we
NBC
knew a
is
lot of
canceling
these were
Suits
happening.
LA. Unfortunately, Resident Alien is also one getting
when it's good, it's good, and when it's bad, it's really stupid.
Yeah.
Where the show is really funny about an
5.
alien, and then you'll have an entire episode where it's just the non-alien women in the town complaining that they're not paid the same as men. And it's like, what is this episode? Can't you have alien shenanigans? No, we're going to talk about women being underpaid in the town. Well, this is just bullshit.
Yeah.
So let's see. Squid Game, Stranger Things are going away. Paramount Plus is also canceling the Frasier reboot. Peacock is canceling Bel Air and Hysteria, and Good Omens.
Yeah, none of these are
as well.
Surprising.
No, not really.
Say PS5 sales as I slowly get this up.
So PS5, Sony has sold 80.3 million PlayStation 5s as we're getting closer and closer to the 5th anniversary of the PlayStation 5. So
still not
and this is
their greatest selling console of all time.
No.
That would probably be the PlayStation 2, would be my guess.
Oh yes, absolutely. I don't know if
Probably,
you can
yeah.
ever beat the PlayStation 2.
The Wii would be the only other one that might be a contender.
Yeah, look it up.
Battlefield 6. After Concourse flop, Sony admits it's like, well, we already had this. This is the second one.
Oh, that's the wrong one. My bad. Let
No
me
big
fix
deal.
that. I fix.
Let's see,
I'm
Concord.
gonna put it right below.
Okay, I'm waiting for it to update. How you doing, chat? You doing good, camper?
Okay, you're good.
Having a good day. There you go.
So it's interesting. Of course, Blizzard, which is unfortunately forcibly joined at the hip with Activision, and Activision being the Call of Duty people. But Blizzard ex-CEO says Battlefield 6 will boot stomp Call of Duty this year because the franchise has gone downhill. Calls it a victory for COD players, so they won't be lazy anymore. They being the developers, I assume. Because
this isn't to brag. He's saying Battlefield 6 will do well because you guys are making crappier games. Not our game is better, that your game is worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's saying that, yeah, and yeah. But, like, that's the thing, though. Like, there's been a lot of talk online about with Battlefield 6 that this is, like, going back to the roots because people really, between Battlefield 5 and then especially 2042, people were really upset. Like, the fans did not like those games. They didn't do as well as they probably should have, especially considering Battlefield did so outrageously well. That this is seeing as like a return to form, whereas Call of Duty is becoming ever more of a meme with more and more like celebrity skins. I mean, there's Beavis and Butthead in the game, Nicki Minaj, that embarrassing stoner Jewish guy in all those horrible comedies.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, like it's just an embarrassing franchise. It's like Fortnite, but realistic graphics.
I mean, Battlefield 5 was going down that direction anyway.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Whereas people, and again, I am always skeptical. I mean, we'll see how it is by the end of the year once it's out and been out for a couple months. But people feel that Battlefield 6 is very much a return to form, where it's more focused on how movement used to feel, like not goofy skins or anything like that. Like it's because 2042 was absolutely going down that path. I mean, when I got Game Pass Ultimate, I tried it, and I hated that game so much.
Yeah, I did
so
not.
Hopefully,
and I'm picky in the weirdest way, where Ross likes the nuance and the game feel and the guns, and I'm like, I don't like this setting. It's gay.
Yeah. Rhett doesn't like modern shooters.
No,
at all.
modern, like flat, maybe. Modern, slightly more advanced, no. Future, no. Like if you give me an Iraq War something, I'd be like, you know what, yeah, all right. But if you give me modern but slightly more advanced with like goofy tech, and it's like, no. I want World War I, unrealistic, World War II. I want World War I tanks that they probably only made 5 of all over the battlefield. I want that. Or guns that were unrealistic for somebody to carry, like the anti-tank rifle. That weren't widely available to all armies. I want that. I love Battlefield 1.
It's a good game. It's a very good game.
Well, we did have the summer of Battlefield 1.
We did. It was a lovely time.
It doesn't look like we're going to replace it with Anthem.
No, unfortunately.
We tried, but it didn't work.
Oh, well. Yeah. Goodwill's getting a neutral review on eBay. That's all I'll say.
Goodwill is a horrible place to buy games, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
They steal from you. You'd think they'd have goodwill. Oh! Anyway. Cheaters already spotted in Battlefield 6. You know, I didn't realize he didn't put on the virtual camera. Because I'm busy and there's a bajillion things to do. Anyway, Ross, tell me about this story.
I just thought it was funny. I mean, because again, there's an absolutely hilarious amount of people in the beta. I mean, to the point where there's wait lists of like, hundreds of thousands. And already, but even in the beta, there's cheaters, like people trying to cheat. I mean, what does it say? And again, they have like a secure boot. To play the game, where like you have to enable that in order to play it, and like they even published a user guide. But yeah, apparently like 300,000 attempts to cheat or tamper with anti-cheat controls. It's just
wow.
I can't imagine being this much of a loser to cheat. I mean, not only just cheat in video games, like how lame are you? But it's a beta. This doesn't even matter.
Well, there are bigger losers than that. I tried to go find old servers to play 1942 to relive the fun of 1942, and there were cheaters and bots in that. In a game from decades ago, there were cheaters.
Right, you gotta understand, I must maintain my leaderboard status.
There are no leaderboards. It's a private server.
Well, it makes me feel good.
To who?
Me.
Do you sit there and be like,
my self-esteem?
I bet that random guy who wandered in and wanted to relive the glory days in 1942 really felt the wrath of my shooting through walls from across the map bot ability. Just a bunch of losers. Just pathetic losers. Here's an interesting bit of news. Disney is ending standalone Hulu and is making a major streaming overhaul, and they will fully integrate it into Disney Plus, set for 2026.
Great. Hey, you know what's funny? I know they were saying that they were going to be like money positive on Disney Plus. I wonder how they're going to do that. Oh wait, no, they just stole all the Hulu subscribers, putting them on Disney Plus.
Actually,
that'll fix it.
They're no longer going to report their numbers. Because it just makes
going that well, huh?
Well, apparently Netflix said they were no longer going to report it, and Disney followed suit, where it's like, wait, we don't have to report it?
Well, doesn't Netflix just like report revenue instead rather than users?
I guess
and Disney's
so.
doing neither.
Disney reports revenue,
not for Disney Plus.
Speaking of,
they'll just bundle it in with the rest of their revenue.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of Disney, Disney's ESPN has officially acquired the NFL Network, and that is a big deal.
Yeah.
So if you care about sports, Disney now owns sports. And also hilarious turn of events, ESPN has locked in WWE Premium Live events. That's right.
What?
Disney now owns WWE pay-per-view.
Wait a minute. I thought Netflix did. Or is Netflix just doing Raw?
I don't know.
That's so baffling. Wait.
Maybe Disney owns. Maybe if you want to watch Raw, you have to watch on Disney Plus, and if you want to watch pay-per-views, you have to watch it on Netflix. I don't know.
Well, because premium live events are a pay-per-view. Listen. We don't talk wrestling too much on this because it's not the most interesting thing. No. Yeah, and I love me some wrestle, and frankly, I love me some bad wrestle, as do you. Which is our joy of really shitty WCW.
Wrestling is fun because we like it because it's terrible.
Yes. But it is hilarious to me that over the last, 5 years, WWE has essentially failed upwards.
Yeah.
Their viewership has never been lower.
No,
and they
they've
have
been
never
declining.
gotten bigger, juicier deals.
They've been making billion-dollar deals with Netflix and Disney.
Like, what the actual fuck is happening? Who do they got brokering these deals? Is Triple H just that goddamn lovable that people
Time
will
to
just
play the
hand him
game.
money? Like, what is going on?
Time to play the game.
Oh my lord! Like the only because
He
like
gamed Mickey Mouse.
oh he did he absolutely finessed the hell out of the mouse. That's awesome. Good for him.
He hustled him.
Yeah. What a
The
mark.
ESPN has inked a 5-year, $1.6 billion agreement with WWE to become an exclusive U.S. home for the company's premium live events, including marquee spectacles like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series. The deal kicks off in
Wait a minute.
2026.
So that means only some of the pay-per-views are going to be on Netflix, and some of the other ones are going to be on ESPN.
Well, it says including marquee events like
WrestleMania. Okay. It hadn't like loaded in, so I couldn't read along. Okay, thank God. That makes more sense.
It's in the Discord if you're watching on there. WWE will continue to producing these high-profile shows totaling around 10 annually, while ESPN gains the flexibility to offer pre- and post-event programming. So ESPN will have their own ESPN commentators on the events that have occurred. So they will be hiring just whoever they give a shit about from wrestling who doesn't have a job at the moment.
Oh. That means the commentators will either be really good or absolutely dog shit.
Well, I just have serious
There's gonna be
questions.
no in between.
What's going on with the Netflix deal? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, WWE's media footprint stays diverse. NBC Universal continues hosting Saturday night main events and Friday night SmackDown. Netflix secured global Monday Night Raw rights, so they have Raw.
Oh. And international pay-per-views.
So in order to watch Raw, you have to own Netflix. To get Saturday night main event and SmackDown, you have to go to NBC. And then to watch the pay-per-views, you need Disney Plus and ESPN and all that.
Oh my God. Guess who's not going to be watching them?
I wasn't watching it before, but at least they were all in one location.
Oh my God. I mean, that would almost be worth it to just keep a Netflix account and then just VPN it.
You know, having the brand split actually matters a lot now. Because if you're a SmackDown guy, it's because you can't afford to do the Raw. So it's
Netflix keeps bumping up their prices. Bastards.
You're like, I'm a SmackDown guy. Well, did you see what happened with Raw? No, I only subscribe to NBC Universal. I'm a SmackDown guy.
Only Peacock.
Something that I heard recently is that these streaming services are working on getting around the VPN stuff so that they can still block people from watching stuff that they don't want them to watch.
We have the worst dystopia. Everything sucks. It's so bland. I want robot arms and machine guns.
Imagine owning Netflix and exclusively watching Raw, and then finding out that like SmackDown's show has gotten just baller, and you have no access.
2 hours and it's better.
Yeah, you have no access to SmackDown because you have Netflix. You can only watch Monday Night Raw.
Oh my God.
The future is awesome. If it's gonna be gay, I want it to be super gay.
You know, at least when it was like when the brands were kind of on different like TV stations, even though that isn't that often, they were usually all in the same cable package, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Here's a fun story. The UK broadcast regulator says Doctor Who's Home, BBC, and other national channels won't survive without forced promotion on YouTube. I know you have serious questions. Let's read on. July was a rotten time to be on the internet. The UK Online Safety Act, encompassing far more than adult material, with similar laws in Europe and the US, YouTube checking American users' age with their ID or not so infallible AI starting this month. and Google threatening to sue Australia over the inclusion of YouTube in their social media ban for children under 16. The world has gone awesome. Now, the UK's Office of Communications, or Ofcom, that sounds like a organization in Metal Gear Solid, has recommended services such as YouTube to promote UK programming from public broadcasters, believed to be endangered as they lag behind Google's video streaming services. Financial Times reports that Ofcom, a regulatory and competitive authority for broadcasting, internet, and postal industries, declared a need for prominence and discoverability on digital platforms like YouTube for media from public service broadcasters, channels like BBC One, 2, ITV Channel 4, blah, blah, blah. Per Ofcom's official report, it is critical that PSBs and YouTube work together to ensure the PSB content is prominent on its service. Prominent on its service and on fair commercial terms. This is important for PSM to continue to connect with all audiences, particularly for news, which supports democracy, and for UK children's programming, which helps young audiences learn and grow.
Okay, so one of the things about television in the UK that I think is so messed up is that in order for you to like watch television, you have to pay a licensing fee. If you own a television, you have to pay. It's not just I go to the store, I buy my television, I plug it in. It's now I have to pay the government. I don't know if it's annually or monthly or whatever. It's like I now need to pay because I actually own a television.
Well, and
If
they're
I was
really
living in the
aggressive
UK,
about
I
it.
would toss. Well, yeah, I would toss my television.
Well,
And because of,
Japan has the same thing, and the argument is if you have a TV that has the ability to access public broadcasting, then you must pay the fee.
right, but this isn't just accessing public broadcasting. It's like even if I don't want to access public broadcasting, they still make you pay the fee, and you can get in
No,
serious trouble if they catch that you have a television and you're not paying your fees.
that's not
which
entirely true. If you can prove that you don't have a television, you're not required to pay the fee.
you cut out there for a second.
It's not entirely true. If you don't have a TV that doesn't access the cable, then you don't have to pay the fee.
Okay.
I mean, in Japan,
But
it's the
still,
same thing,
I mean,
which means you pretty much have to not have a television.
yeah, I would dump the television. But the thing is that they're trying to get around that by doing this, where they're forcing YouTube to subsidize the fact that people are dumping their televisions and watching YouTube instead.
Well, on top of that, their revenue is down. In a confusing turn of events, the American government was funding a lot of the BBC. A huge amount of Doctor Who was paid for by Disney, of all things.
Yeah.
And hilariously, Ofcom also promoted the notion that the UK government should contemplate if such a move requires legislation, especially to aid news or children's programming, as the UK's media access does with TVs and similar services, ensuring such programs are among those seen first on home screens. Yeah, they're trying to force themselves into YouTube.
Yeah, I gotta say that if I was YouTube and Ofcom came to me and said, "You have to broadcast these commercials to people who have, who are are in the UK," I would tell them, "Well, okay, but you have to pay me for it." And this is them saying, "Well, we're going to legislate it. We're going to force YouTube if they want to be here in the UK, they're going to have this law that says they have to broadcast these commercials for us free." So yeah, this sucks. This is blatant overreach here by a government busybody organization.
Jason, the UK government has been considering adding an additional fee to people who subscribe to Netflix to help fund the BBC.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yes,
they're not watching the BBC, they're watching Netflix, and they're like, well, we want Netflix to give us a little bit of money
yeah.
then. Imagine doing that. Imagine going to Netflix and being like, you need to give us a little bit of your money to help pay for our really shitty programming.
Well, what's funny to me is, and to be fair, I'm not entirely sure how it works. But they have like there's a BBC iPlayer. Like there's an online way to watch BBC shows right now if you have a TV license in the UK. Like, so it's not that there's no, well, we just don't have presence. So it's not that. It's that, well, you're the popular one, and so you're gonna make you're gonna make them watch our stuff. And it's like, what? By the way, for the longest time, because I've always heard of Ofcom because of like watching Top Gear, I thought it was something like Oxfam, the nonprofit or whatever. So
right.
Anyway, I just thought that was funny, but it is hilarious because like they are trying to latch themselves on like a leech to the bigger service, even though they have it on their crap, but nobody does because they make shit.
Yeah, their content is terrible and very biased, and nobody wants to watch it anymore. You did this. And this goes for American programming. Like, what's his face that got canceled?
Colbert?
Stephen Colbert. Yep. These programs were normally universally loved. They wormed their way into taking it over. Then they create politically minded, focused programming so that you are forced to watch that one political perspective in order to change the opinions of the audiences. And much to their shock and dismay, people start tuning out or watching other things because there are other options. And then the show does poorly and they can't get money, and then they have to cancel it. Or they just move to trying to take over the programming of the other thing in order to force their political perspective crammed down your throats. The reason why the BBC isn't doing well is because it sucks. That's really all there is. The shows aren't good. The news is one-sided. It's all just really shit. And you're sitting there going, well, BBC's got the historical. It's like, it's like NPR or PBS here. Well, I mean, they've been around forever. We have to fund them forever. It's not our obligation to fund your political pandering. It's not my job to sink money so that your political side can have a platform to just preach whatever it wants to all of the time. The BBC doesn't represent all of Britain, despite it being horrifically politically one-sided. The BBC doesn't represent Britain, and Britain is going through a massive amount of political turmoil. If you find yourself hemorrhaging views because you cater too hard to one political perspective, maybe you should second guess why that's happening instead of going, no, we need to preach down to these people because it's important to get our message across. Well, as you dwindle people and then lose money and then have to cancel programming. It's not
private companies.
It's not because
you.
It's not because Doctor Who was black and gay. It's because he used to not be that. And you changed it.
It used to be a fun show that people
and they didn't like it. You're ruining your own programming. And you know what's the worst part about this? And this goes for Disney with Star Wars and Indiana Jones and Marvel. And then we go DC and every major franchise that's ever been out there. You do this bullshit. You damage your brands. And oftentimes it can't be reversed. You had one of the most powerful, valuable IPs in movie history with Star Wars, and you've damaged it so thoroughly that people are simply uninterested And going back, I mean, even when it's the drama of, even if you make a good movie, people won't show up because you so thoroughly damage your brand. It's like Marvel. You can make a good movie and no one will show up. Fantastic Four has become a massive failure. This didn't include in the docket. It might not get over 500 million. It is a failure. They're going to lose money on that movie. And it was okay.
I've noticed a number of, and I thought these might have been Cope articles that were like, Disney has a massive hit with Fantastic Four, and I'm like, really? I am skeptical about your claims there.
No, in the recent earnings call, they admitted that it underperformed.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and Leo, I mean, they're losing money on this.
Yeah, didn't wasn't it Lilo and Stitch was like having to keep afloat?
Overwhelmingly,
those movies essentially.
But like, weirdly enough, the merchandising for Lilo and Stitch is just huge.
Yeah.
They're
well, I think aren't they merchandising a lot of the cartoon though? Funnily enough, not the live action look.
I couldn't tell you.
It wouldn't surprise me.
That's what I seem to remember seeing, but it's been a minute.
Shocking, BBC. You make shitty content, no one watch shitty content. Now you have no money.
Yeah, they clean it out and they go somewhere else.
Now you have to steal money from Netflix and pass legislation to force YouTube to advertise for you. Because your show sucks. It's not about advertisement. It's about bad content. They did this analysis with Stephen Colbert. Where it was something like, out of like 150 guests, one of them was a Republican. It's like, shocking. Oh, and people are like, well, he's too political. It's like, well, maybe it's because you're too political. It's like, no, he's too political. Like, he's just a very political show and nobody wants to watch it. And now it's canceled. Speaking of canceled, Howard Stern.
Oh no.
So people took
king
it
of media
as gospel that he was canceled. I think he pretty much is probably canceled.
It seems likely.
But we haven't had confirmation yet because his, what was it? His contract has come up and they haven't renewed it or something like that.
Yeah, so like the rumor is, because they paid him what, $500 million?
Stupid about
5 years ago. Yeah. Back in 2020, and SiriusXM not doing great. Turns out
YouTube.
Well, and podcasts and like cell phone like coverage being so good now and so fast that like even if I don't download my podcasts, I can still listen to them like 90% of the places right? So now SiriusXM is a little bit less appealing. But the rumor is like they're going to send him a deal that they plan on not taking. They don't intend for him to take it. Because it'll be up this fall. So I mean, because there's no way they're going to $500 million. You know what? Let me look it up real quick. I'm wondering how much, and if how much their user base has shrunk. I think it's considerable.
I'm going to have to talk down to everybody so that we can get clarification. Howard Stern was a bit before my time, but it's important for me to clarify. Howard Stern was devastatingly popular. Like, he was the morning radio of the working class man, where everybody drove to work or listened to it on the job site or did whatever, for millions and millions of people every day. Where I think his numbers at his high was like 20 million.
Yeah.
Daily. It was absurd. He was one of the original shock jocks where they would do outrageous, shocking things, talk about inappropriate things on the radio. During this era, those shock jocks, those huge radio guys that were in places like New York and stuff, were so massive, they were pulling down absurd amounts of money. Tens, hundreds of millions of dollars in the case of Howard Stern. I never liked
and they
his...
influenced
everything.
Yeah, a ton of people were trying to copycat these people on radio all across
the
the country.
famous like court cases of him trying to have people have sex in like a church and stuff on the air, and like just crazy stuff coming out of Howard Stern. I never liked Howard Stern. I thought he was childish and stupid. And he was before my time. Before, like, I wasn't really around when he was at his height, like paying attention or listening to the radio. I was in school. And even if I were, I mean, I never listened to any of this live, but even after the fact, listening to stuff on YouTube, like I much more prefer like an Opie and Anthony over Stern. Stern seemed kind of a self-indulgent douchebag. Unlike Opie and Anthony, who were just assholes.
Rhett, you are of the right age, but you are a good kid.
Yeah, I was a good little boy.
You weren't a little shithead that listened to Howard Stern when he shouldn't have been. That's the difference.
Yeah, in middle school or whatever.
Yeah, like he was huge. And speaking of wrestling again, because I will always take the this Stern horseshit also infected wrestling horribly, where we get to see like Beetlejuice, the little black mentally handicapped man, on wrestling, and get the guitar hit from Jeff Jarrett.
I mean,
but yeah, like he was a huge deal. He was everywhere.
And it's hard for me to describe how massive Howard Stern was. He had a huge cultural influence. I mean, he was on the MTV Music Awards where he descended from the ceiling with missing ass cheeks. Like, he is a massive, massive star. Being a radio host.
He got a movie as a radio host. He got a movie.
Yeah. Do you remember why he was really angry about his movie? That the re-release of Star Wars did better than his shitty movie. And he was angry. He was angry that Empire Strikes Back performed better in the theaters than his crappy movie. And it's like, really? You're so petty. You think you would have done better than Star Wars? Howard Stern.
Wow.
Yeah, he was just like spent like a week just like trashing George Lucas.
Yeah. He was that upset that Star Wars performed better than his really bad movie.
It's funny that we're like Stern has come up this week, because I was listening to an old video about like, because apparently the comedian Ari Shaffir had beef with Stern a while ago, like years ago.
Yeah.
Because Stern famously hates podcasts and podcasters because he thinks it's just dorks talking on the computer to each other.
Yeah, he's no longer relevant is the thing.
Yeah, and he was like he's sitting there like on his show being like, look, if you want to be a broadcaster, you got to get on a small market. You got to start there. Like, he's talking about stuff that was relevant literally 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't, buddy, like he's so out of touch. Famously, he's like a total agoraphobic right now. And like since COVID, he's never left his house.
Yeah, well, basically during COVID, he either wouldn't leave his house or he would take a limo to the studio, walk out his door, right into the studio, do it, and then after it's over, walk back out into his car and then go home. He also stopped being exciting and sensational and become this really weird shill for government policies and taking the vax, and stopped being really funny and entertaining. He was always kind of shitty. He just became boring.
Mm-hmm. And people defended him for a long time. Well, he has great interviews. It's like,
he doesn't. He's not good at interviews.
Not really.
He's not.
Well, look, the reality is Joe Rogan kind of took that place.
Yep. And I think it bothers him that he's no longer the top dog, and he was all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot explain accurately how absurdly famous this man was.
Oh, yeah.
Daily lives of people were listening to him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was what everyone listened. Like, if you were a man of a certain age, you listened to Howard Stern or Opie and Anthony or both. Like, that was like, those were the shows. They were huge. But even before, like, it was amazing.
To give you an idea, so everybody knows that Joe Rogan's podcast is the biggest podcast in the world, right? Huge, massive podcast. Howard Stern leaps and bounds over Joe Rogan numbers.
Yeah.
He's just no longer that at all. He sucks. And Joe Rogan took his place and is now the man. But Joe Rogan came up through the Opie and Anthony stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I don't know why. I don't know anybody that still has Sirius. I don't know anybody who ever listened to Stern, and though I know he was super popular. And I would be baffled that anybody still listens to Stern, if not only from nostalgia, because you've been doing it forever. No one's shocked that they're probably not going to renew the thing. They've actually slowly started dropping people off of Sirius anyway. Like Jimmy, who used to be part of Opie and Anthony, is no longer on Sirius.
Yeah, a guy I used to listen to when I had Sirius XM was, oh god damn it, I forgot his name. He's a skater, and they dumped Jason Ellis. They dumped his show years ago now.
They used to have the was it the Boneyard with Ozzy Osbourne, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Didn't Chris Jericho have a show on Sirius?
God, he might have. I don't remember.
He just played rock music and whatnot.
Well, he is the greatest rock star we've ever seen.
It wouldn't surprise me, how many celebrities had something on Sirius, because they really pushed that hard for a while.
Yeah, it's just not relevant anymore.
No.
And neither is Howard Stern. It's hard for guys with egos like his to sort of let go, but
well, what's really funny about this is that Howard Stern could totally have gone the podcast route. And
yeah.
He'd be more relevant today if he went the podcast route. Of course, he'd have to revamp his show slightly to make it more interesting.
Well, he could even have just done a podcast about coming up in broad. I mean, like that would have put his toe in the water.
He still thinks he's hip.
What an idiot. He's in the 70s, for God's sake.
This is a good time for him to retire and just say, I'm out of broadcasting.
No, he's going to bitterly keep his show around like like Opie does, where he still pretends that he's relevant. Opie is no longer relevant.
No.
And a lot of the clips I see from Anthony on Anthony Cumia's Compound Media is him bitching about Opie, that Opie still thinks he's relevant.
Yeah. Some of those have popped up on my YouTube, and it's like, oh, well, you're not definitely holding on to anything. Like, not at all. No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a bygone era. And you can't let go that you're no longer top dog, so you're going to still bitch and moan and complain that you should be top dog. It's over. Like, I was still baffled they were giving him the money he was getting now. Sirius doesn't have that money anymore. That's got to be 99% of their budget.
It's probably a lot. I mean, granted, you get it with every new car. Like, but I mean, I think who keeps it? I mean, other than that free trial you get when you buy the car, I mean, who the hell would?
Do you even know who Howard Stern is, Silver? Have you heard the name before?
I have.
All right.
Oh.
Sadly, I've really only ever seen him on. He was a judge on America's Got Talent, wasn't he?
Yes, he is. So. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You girl.
God.
Yeah.
God, you're a fetus.
I don't know.
Well, whatever. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah.
Let's get this travesty done with. I like my intro. Screw you, people.
It's good. It's quality.
Screw you for not constantly praising it all of the time.
I see. That's where it's going.
I implied like you guys are constantly trashing it, and I was like, defend me. But it's like, no, I just wanted to egotistically praise how cool that intro is. I could sometimes put together an intro, you guys.
On occasion.
Yeah, every now and then.
Every once in a while. Okay, so we were at the position of we were at an impasse between the giant guacamole squid armed
Oh,
with a
yes.
cattle prod and the Grim Reaper covered in eyes armed with a lightsaber.
I was going to strangle Ross
Um,
over his opinions.
Huh?
You have bad opinions and you should feel bad. Why did everything
So-
unformat? I don't know why.
No idea.
I'm gonna.
I had
awkwardly-
ChatGPT generate character sheets. Of the two, the guacamole squid and the Grim Reaper. Some of it is interesting. The
Usually
guacamole
isn't.
squid is chaotic delicious.
Ugh. Disgusting.
But just looking at the two character sheets that it generated, the edge does go towards the Grim Reaper.
Well, AI has declared it. That should be it, right?
Cattle prod.
Conversation over. Well, it's nice of you guys to join us for this podcast.
I mean, I don't know how. I mean, listen. Of course, death wins. I mean, obviously. Come on. I mean, who are we kidding here?
He's dead. What? Were you just being belligerent last week to
Huh?
be
What are you
shitty
talking
with
about?
me?
No, I was always a death fan. I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
I mean, come on. He's death. He touches you. You're gonzo. Even if you are made of squawk.
I know. That's what I said.
No, that's what I said. I don't know what you're talking about.
What's wrong with you, Ross? Is there an alien? Are you an alien?
Huh? I mean, there's an alien squid, clearly. Who makes a squid out of guacamole?
I mean, we all know I lack the capacity to function in normal human society.
I don't think that's strictly speaking true.
Well, I've learned over these many years.
You've adapted.
He has some coping mechanisms that
I've grown
uses.
accustomed to your ways.
What was that? Kramer, that episode with Kramer from across the street where Seinfeld had to explain to him. He's like, "You're not like the normal humans. Like you're a different person." And then at some point he does something and he goes, "I like to help the humans." So Silver,
Well, it
you've
sounds like
now
the-
changed your opinion?
Well, I'd lose anyway if I said giant squid, so frickin' Reaper.
This reminds me of the death of Stalin, where they're voting, and it's like unanimously.
Yeah, like, and the measure passes unanimously. Like, waiting
And
for
he
everyone
just
to raise their
delays
hand.
as everybody. Oh, okay. It's like every election that Putin wins. Unanimously.
That's right.
Well, I don't care who wins after this as long as the giant guacamole squid doesn't stick around. I'm happy with that.
I don't know how he stuck around this long. I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here? Why'd you vote for the squid?
Ross, you degenerate shitster,
Yes.
Huh? I don't know where you get this idea. I was pro squid.
you. What? We were always at war with Australia. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what? Huh?
Oh, well, now that that's over, what's next week, Jason? Before I have some concluding things to say.
Mario Brothers with sticky bombs versus Grim Reaper covered in eyes.
Sweet. Weird. Before we get out of here, there's one important thing, which probably the podcast should have all been about, and we would potentially become this podcast 24/7 every week. We're just going to have another conversation about the fact that King of the Hill is out.
Oh, that's right.
The new season released with all 10 episodes.
And
Have you already binged it?
I am trying to savor the flavor.
Savor it.
It's
Has
really
a
good.
taste.
It's very much King of the Hill. It's really good.
Mhm.
That's
Um,
good.
literally, most of it is just Bobby and his dad at odds over stuff that Bobby does. Like Bobby makes his own beer and it's too fruity, and Hank doesn't like it. And then Bobby has his own restaurant and he doesn't use propane, he uses charcoal, and Hank hates it. And they're just at odds
Wow.
constantly. Con Super Nuisance Foam lives in the garage because him and his wife got a divorce. Bill Dauterive really fell off the hill when Hank and Peggy left and became a 300-pound house recluse and can't leave the house.
Oh.
And it's awesome.
It's great.
Yeah, the show's funny so far. I've yet to have any gripes, but I like it. I like it a lot. There's actually a clip at the beginning of this podcast I stole from the show, where they're talking about propane. And he says something like, "You just what is that with charcoal? It's like you just like it because it's foreign and trendy."
Orange. Oh my god. Sure, Hank.
King of the Hill. Oh, at least you know what? At least something's not just abomination. It has a potential to get there, but so far so good.
Mm-hmm.
Look forward to King of the Hill being an exclusive Disney property in the future.
My favorite Disney princess, Hank.
Hank Hill.
Tell you what, the boy ain't right.
Well, I saw a clip from like the last episode where they come to terms about their beer differences, and Peggy pours them together because they both make their own beer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "I've invented my own beer. I call it Peggy's beer." And it's like, you just poured two other people's beer together.
No, it's Peggy's beer. What are you
Remember
talking
that
about?
whole thing of Peggy makes claim to everything, like she does something slightly different and claims she invented it?
Yes.
What was it? Spaghetti and meatballs, and it's like it's just spaghetti and meatballs, but you add cinnamon or whatever.
Oh god.
But she claims like she invented something. The ego on that woman
She's so brilliant.
never change. Remember when she won? When she took that online test and they found out she was a genius and it was just a scam website to take her money?
Yes. Or when she was selling her feet pictures.
Yeah. What was the really funny line from that episode? It's like some men like women's butts, and some men like women's boobies, but some men, too few, I would imagine, like women's feet. And doing this helps all women. And Bobby goes, "How's this help the women with the big boobies? They don't need any more help."
Peggy was ahead of her time. She'd thrive in today's world, today's internet pervs.
Or the
Yeah.
she's convinced she speaks authentic Spanish and goes to Mexico and gets arrested. Nobody can understand her.
Uh-huh.
And she gets off because they prove she wasn't competent because they have her speak in Spanish to the judge in her own words. And they're like, "We don't understand anything she says." Oh, King of the Hill. I could go on about King of the Hill forever. It is my muse. That being
Pretty good
said,
stuff.
we should end this podcast. Really quick, Silver, why don't you tell us things because you've been silent the whole episode like every episode?
Oh no. I have no fun facts. But I saw Thunderbolt, it sucks.
Yeah.
But why?
Did you like that Thunderbolts had a lot of conversations about mental health?
Oh gosh.
Sounds like she loved it.
Everybody kept talking about it. It was the movie had a healthy conversations about mental health. Did you like that?
No.
But mental health is so important. How did you not love it?
Did you like?
I forget her name, but it's like, oh, she's a heavy drinker.
Did you like that Captain America is suing them for using the name Avengers? Because that's how you have a new Avengers movie, by having Captain America sue him over the legal rights to the name.
Oh
It
yeah,
still looks
so
so stupid.
Yes, the
they
optics
call
on that was
themselves
so good.
the Avengers, but with a Z at the end.
The new Marvel, everybody. Going in a good
That's
direction.
so funny.
So funny and quirky.
So cool.
So bland.
Ross.
That you can have a funny superhero movie. They've done it before.
It can't anymore.
You know,
It can't.
No.
modern
It can't
society
be.
doesn't understand funny anymore. It's
No,
foreign
they
to
don't.
them. It's like me in social situations.
Yes.
Yes. Ross?
You know, contact your representatives, people. Make this banking protection be law.
It's good
Also,
for everybody.
play old games; they're fun.
Old games are fun.
Not Anthem.
Not Anthem. They won't let you play it. You will now attach your EA account to some random man, probably in Indiana, forever.
And
So
EA
that's fun.
support won't help you because you can't confirm you own the email that you don't own, even though it's deactivated. I hate you, EA.
EA.
Hey, Silver, remember when I offended our cousin's child in front of his wife? See, you know I do this sort of thing, and I have zero shame. They named their kid something stupid. White women and their naming conventions. And I was like, that name's for the parents, not for the kid. That kid's going to grow up just horribly with the stupid name. And she got really annoyed. And I did it in front of her, too. She's like, well, I like it. And I was like, well, I don't care.
I don't care. I don't like it.
What did I say to her? I don't feel bad. Like I yelled, I don't feel bad.
I'm trying to even remember what cousin it was. It's one of two I'm thinking of.
We've got like 40 of them.
Well, yes, but
Anyway, Ross.
I already said my thing.
Should I go back to my home planet?
I don't think you need to yet. I don't think you've been discovered.
ICE will find me.
You got time.
After the filming of Red Pray Love.
Red Play Love. We say that, but I would make that movie.
I would love to make that movie.
Concludes,
would you direct my movie, Ross?
Absolutely. In a heartbeat, Rhett.
Just keep the same beats as Eat, Pray, Love, just with Rhett in it.
Yeah.
Better to go fund me just so we can get you across the world.
Absolutely. Just like an annoyed face. Just
so I could just be annoyed at flirting women in every country.
Yep.
Leave me alone.
Then they're dumb cultures.
Yeah, they're stupid cultures.
Have you sitting there in a cafe in Paris, just disapproving of all the people walking by that are holding hands and stuff?
Oh, Paris would have to be a two-parter.
Oh my god! Didn't we talk about your what was it the Korean like social experiments you were watching?
Oh god!
It was like those.
Oh, I made Ross watch some of them. Ross, how'd you like it?
What wonderful countries! They're certainly not bizarre.
What, you don't like hot Korean guys staring through the window at women?
Or like sitting at the bottom of the building asking administrative office 30 people, and I would be constantly terrified of them. What are you still doing here? Are you just asking people this? Like, I'd be horrified.
Hey, do you guys know where the faculty room is?
We talked about one scenario where like a Korean pop singer like comes into a restaurant where Rhett's eating a sandwich and just starts singing in the middle of the place, and he just sits there.
I'm the only one that doesn't react.
Yeah, and he's like trying to get in his face to be like, look, recognize me. Meanwhile, you're like, I need to dump my tray.
Well, my hope is, because they film a lot of those, that I'm sitting like right up front, so it's clearly obvious I'm eating a sandwich and ignoring the guy singing in the back. Then I'm trying to
Crunches
walk
and
past
chips.
him to get my tray put away so I can leave in the middle of his ballad.
I need this, Rhett. We really need to get this funded. Make friends with a billionaire.
I'm a treasure.
It's true.
Jason?
Gee, normalize the saying, I am a treasure. Put Rhett, just like a commemorative coin with Rhett's face.
A
underneath
national treasure.
Yes, queen. Yes.
You don't want to be my friend, but it's funny when I upset other people.
Yeah. The thing is that, we obviously we come on here and we joke around and stuff, but seriously, there are some really messed up people out there that
I know
that,
we're talking
like the
about it.
BBC trying to squeeze money out of other companies to subsidize their crap. Yeah, don't give in to that, guys. Don't give in to that.
Time to go.
If you like the show, follow Rhett, Jason, Ross, and Silver, the world's most lethally stupid internet personalities, on Twitter at DG Podcast or on Instagram at Distracted Gamers. If you liked or hated what you heard here today, you can email them at thedistractedgamers@gmail.com and share your feelings. Not that Jason would care, since he hasn't any, of course.
Oh my God, it's so juicy!